Hey, what's up, everyone? Jonathan Allen at Floodwater. Today, we're going to take it a little step further, and we're going to talk about plugins. We're definitely going to have some fun with this one. Let's see what happens. Now, I know at the end of the last video we said we were going to be talking about virtual instruments this week, but sometimes things change in the studio. Times don't work out for some people. We can't get together. That's perfectly fine. So we adapt, we move forward, and we're actually going to be talking about some effects today, some plugins, building this out a little bit, getting a little more dimension into what we have. So last time you noticed that we only had a guitar and a vocal recorded. Well, we had a little fun in the studio and we started building on this earlier in the week. And as you can see, we still have our one main guitar track across the top here. We added some EBO tracks using the acoustic as well, and we're going to place through these here, so you're going to hear what the raw tracks sounded like, and we're going to get everything going well here. Now, the vocal, we actually, Eli decided he wanted to double the vocal, so we did a double vocal recording through the whole thing, and then we did a couple small harmonies. So let's get started down here. We're going to open up our mix tab. You can see here that we have been kind of working on this already, so there are some plugins that are here, but we're going to go through all of these and take a look at what exactly has transpired. So like I said before, when we're setting levels for things, sometimes you have to boost things up a little bit if it's a little too quiet for your studio monitors that you have, or your headset, even if you have headphones and you're listening on through that and mixing through that. Sometimes you got to boost the volume just a little bit, and that's perfectly fine. We want to set those levels, like I said, conservative, so we're not peaking, we're not clipping anything, but we always have room to move up if we need to. So here we'll go take a look at this acoustic track here. I'm just going to solo this here. What you can do is you can click on solo, or if you click on the track itself and then hit S on your keyboard, it will solo as well. So this is the acoustic track. So you guys heard some of that last week, and this is what we have used on it. We start here with just this FGN British EQ, just sculpting things slightly here. A little bit of a high pass here, breaking off some of those lower frequencies that we don't want coming through to the guitar. We don't want it too boomy for things. Messing around with some upper mids and some lower mids. Not doing a whole lot with those. So the lower mids didn't really touch much on this one. And then the upper mids, just a slight boost around 3.2K, just to get a little more air into things. And this is our high pass filter. So we have it filtered off, getting out a lot, like I said, of that low end. We don't want it boomy at all. Next, we pop over here to the VCA compression. That's here. Now the threshold set to around -30. The ratio, we do about a 4-to-1 ratio for this. Kind of slow attack, but a fast release. Just trying to tame it a little bit. We're not trying to make anything pump. We're not trying to get really crazy with compression. Just trying to tame it a little bit. Slight makeup gain with some things so it can get back up to the level we're looking for. And the mix is around 50%. Then we come over here to this last EQ, the British style 4K EQ. Again, we're not doing a whole lot of movement here. So the low frequencies we haven't touched because we have dealt with them previously on the other plugin, or the other EQ, I should say. You know, the high frequencies, slight boost around 8 o'clock, or 8K. And then your high mid frequencies, just a slight boost again, just trying to get a little more air into things. Now the low mids, we did cut those a little bit out. We want everything to be crisp. We don't want any mud coming in and clouding the mix for things. So for this set, this EQ chain here that we have, this is what the guitar itself sounds like. So you can see that the compressor, it's doing some work. It's not over compressing things, but it's grabbing those really, really harsh transients that are coming through, just making sure everything just kind of fits together. We just want to sculpt it. We just want to grab it a little bit there, but it sounds really great. So I'm really enjoying how this chain has been working for us. So then we'll come down here to the vocals real quick, because I know a lot of people are interested in vocal chains and how those types of things work. So for the doubled vocals, we actually went left and right with those to give a really widespread sound for it, and it sounds really awesome. And for our vocal chain, again, still using Slate, the virtual mix rack here. Start off with that British EQ, for the high shelf here. Slight boost. Not a whole lot going there. For the upper mids, we're really grabbing around that 6K region, boosting it just a little bit. We just want it to be airy. I named my preset the Floodwater Airy Vocal. I want it to just be crisp and clean. For the mids, not anything happening. I didn't boost or cut anything. It's just sitting how it sits, and I haven't had any issues with it right now. For the lower frequencies here, the low shelf, I did bring it down a little bit and hit it with my high pass filter around 80 hertz. So we don't get that mud. The vocals have a tendency, you get very, very dark very quick, very muddy very quick, and that's what we want to avoid. So then we pop over here to our FET compressor, and again, not doing a whole lot of compression. So we have our input around 24 dB, output around 10, ratio 4:1 still. We have a fast or a slow attack and slow release. We're not trying to pump the vocals. These are at 100% here, and a little bit of noise reduction put in there as well, just to clear things up. And then we have the Revival. So the Revival is free if you don't spend the monthly subscription for Slate, which Slate's not sponsoring this at all. I love their products, and I will promote them even if there's no compensation for anything. That's not why I do this. But the Revival, like I said, this is free. You can get the Slate virtual mix rack for free. You get a couple plugins that come with it. Revival's awesome. It's an exciter, essentially. So you have your shimmer. You're just going to boost some top ends, get everything nice and crisp. Then you have your thickness. It really just kind of brings everything warm and close together, and tonally it sounds awesome. So I have the same vocal chain on both vocal tracks here. And these, like I said, these are left and right. So we're going to go ahead and just do a quick solo on the vocals, and then I'll pop the guitar in so you can hear everything together for that.
I think our flaws are what makes us be the people we were chosen to be. Your favorite color, that old porch swing, the places that we used to meet.
And as you can tell, the compressor's not doing a whole lot of work right here. Just grabbing what it needs to and just tightening things up a little bit. Just making it sound really smooth. And then here is with the acoustic also.
String on an old guitar, you'd certainly keep it, nothing seems to wind.
So then with the harmonies that we recorded, it's just a single harmony for right now. We may be working on some other stuff too. Like I said, this recipe of a song, it's always expanding, always changing until that recipe is just right and the end result is delicious. So right now, for the virtual mix rack plugins we have on here, really we just stuck with a preset that Slate had put up here, so it's the extra crispy vocal. We have the dynamics, so compression, gate, things of that nature. We have distressor, so a very, very nice compressor here. EQ. The trimmer here is just slightly knocking off some of those higher frequencies that may be problematic sitting in the mix. And everything, it just sounds really good together. So let me play the harmony for you here. So I'll solo that, and then we'll throw the vocals in with the guitar so you can kind of hear how everything sounds.
As I grow, my heart starts to show the places where I want to be. As long as the place I'm at is with you, my love will see.
So that's going to be it for this week's video. There's a lot of content here. A lot of it is just trial and error too. So when you're looking into using some plugins and really having some fun when you start sculpting things and making it sound the way you hear it in your head, which is really our goal when it comes to music. We have that idea, and then we get the raw tracks, and we have to always be thinking, how are we going to get to that end result? And plugins are obvious ways to help do that. One thing I do want to say here, I praised Slate Digital a lot tonight, and I showed you everything that I was using, but I'll also say this. PRESONUS has a bunch of stock plugins, and I use PRESONUS stock plugins a lot. This particular session, I went with the virtual mix rack. Almost my entire album that I put out on the Jonathan Allen Wishful Forgetting EP, 98% of everything was PreSonus stock plugins. Do not be afraid of stock plugins. Do not be afraid of stock plugins. Do not be afraid of stock plugins. Well, guys, that's my rant for this evening. I really hope you've enjoyed this video and this series so far. If you have, please leave us a comment and subscribe and like, and just let us know what you think of the song so far that's happening. There's a lot of work to do on this song yet, and we're going to document this the whole way. Like I said at the end, we're going to release this as a single for Eli's solo album he's going to be putting out, and we're having tons of fun. So again, drop us any comments or questions down below. We will get back to you guys. Also, I want to say thank you so much for hitting 1,000 subscribers, and it's been really great. It's been really awesome. So keep sharing, keep loving what's going on. We love you guys. Have a good night.
As I grow, my heart starts to show the places where I want to